Hello all, I am Pallavi Bhujbal, working as an assistant professor in the computer department at AISSMS Institute of Information Technology. Now I welcome you all. Now we will start with the data mining techniques processes. In the last lecture we covered why we are using data mining techniques nowadays. So from today we will start the data mining processes here. So in this session, I will explain you the data mining processes software development approaches. So in this, there are two approaches I included here. So first, I will explain you the software development approach, and the second, I will explain you the CRISP DM approach here. So we'll start with the software development approach of data mining. So in this approach, there are several steps are included. So data mining to be effective, much careful work is needed in defining the aim of enterprise. Data mining and then in selection, cleaning, transformation, and perhaps a separate storage of data that is suitable for our data mining. So these separate data may be data warehousing and store the information that is needed by the enterprises decision makers or the decision making, such as data should include not just current data but it's also historical data also. If we notice earlier before, the data mining process involves much hard work. A typical data mining process is likely to include the following six steps. This is step. So these steps are based on a typical software development processes. It should be noted that all such processes are iterative and work done. As a step one may need to be revised based on some new information or new insight further done in this process. So we'll see this approach one by one here. So we'll start with the first step, that is the requirement analysis. This where is the first step, that is the requirement analysis is the first step in our approach. So enterprise decision market need to formulate goal that the data mining process is expected to achieve. Now the business problem must be clear defined here. One cannot use data mining without a good idea of what kind of outcomes that enterprises is looking for. Since the technique is used and that data is required are likely to be different or different goals. So if objectives has been clear defined, it is easier to evaluate the result of the project, and a document that describe the result of the requirement analysis should be proceed or produced. So this was the requirement analysis process. If we see the second, go for the second, that is the data selection and collection. This is the second step when we are approaching, when we are developing any software in our data mining projects process. Once the data required has been identified in our first step, in this step may include finding the best source database for the data that is required for the given requirements. If the enterprises or any organization has implemented a data warehouse, then most of the data could be available there. If the data is not available in that in their warehouses, or the enterprises doesn't have a warehouse, the source OLTP system, that is online process, need to be identified and the requirement information extracted and stored in the some temporary system. In some cases, at the beginning only a sample of data available may be sufficient when we are developing our process, and a document that given details of data that is to be used about the should be produced. So in this we select the data. First approach, we require the data analysis, then we select and collect the data from the other resources of that organization or that enterprises. If we go for the next step, that next step is the data cleaning here, cleaning and the preparation of data. This is the third step of our approach, processing approach. This may not be a task or the onerous task if a data warehousing containing the required data exists, since most of these must have already been done when data was loaded in the warehouse. Otherwise these tasks can be very resource intensive, and sometimes more than 50% of efforts of our data mining project is spent on this step. Why? Because if we noted, a data stored that integrated data from a number of databases may be needed to be created. When integrated data often encountered a problem like identifying data, dealing data with the missed data, data conflict and the ambiguity. So, and extraction, transformation, and loading ETL tools may be used to assist with this problem. So, when we are creating, when we are doing developing our project with this data mining, so cleaning and the preparation step. We engage with this step up 50% of efforts of our data mining project. So the cleaning and the data preparation carried out should be the document in the report. This was the third step. We'll go for the next, that is the data mining, exploration and the validation step for our software development approach. Once the required data has been collected from different sources and clean, it is possible to start data mining exploration, assuming that the user has access to one or more data mining tools. A data mining model may be constructed based on the enterprise's needs. It may be possible to take a sample of data and apply a number of promising techniques. For example, if we see, for each technique the result can then be evaluated and their significance enterprises. So that is the evaluated and their significance interpreted. Again, this is likely to be an interactive process which should lead the selection of one or more techniques that are suitable for the further exploration, testing and the validation. So these exploration and the experience gain should be described in our report also. So that is the data mining, exploration, validation. So if we go for the implementing step, implementation, evaluation and the monitoring stage here. So once a model has been selected, validated, the decision makers can implement the model for the use. So it may involve software development for generating report or explanation of the manager. It may be more than one technique is suitable for the given data mining task. It is then important to evaluate the result and choosing the best technique. So the evaluation may involve checking the accuracy and effectiveness of these techniques. So once we get the exact techniques, then we go for the result. This is the need for regular monitoring of performance to the techniques that has been implemented. Every enterprise is involved with time and so must be data mining system. Therefore, the monitoring is necessary from time to time. This may lead to the refinement of the tools and the technique that has been implemented here. So, the next step is result visualization. So, after getting these 5 requirement, we go for the result visualization. Explaining the result of data mining to the decision maker is an important step of data mining process. Most commercial data mining tools include data visualization models. These tools are often vital in the communicating result to the manager. Although problem dealing with a number of dimensions must often to be visualizing using a two-dimensional computer screen or the printout. So the better the data visualization tools are being developed to display the result that deal with the more than two-dimensional. So this is the visualization tools available should be tried and used if we found effective for the given problem. So the user guides for the visualization should be prepared. So now this was the approach of implementing the data mining things. So these are the 6 steps which we are included here. which I explained one by one. So in next lecture we'll see the data mining process through using the crisp DM approach. So here we end this session here. Thank you very much.